Hey guys, Justine here, back with our blind playthrough of Amnesia Dark Descent. So we're gonna give a crack, give Justine another crack. We'll give this a go. Maybe I was in a bad mood last time or something. This time it will be a trial of character. Death is final, nothing will be saved. Wake up, you need to get going. Right, select. See, this is different as well, right? Like, why this start? Why this screen, I mean. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about it, and like, I was thinking about the Justine playthrough, and I still kind of dislike the roguelike nature of it, because I don't think that blends well with horror. But I don't know. I have a lot of respect for the devs because they're trying different stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because on the other hand, for me at least, I get frustrated, right? If I have to do the same thing over and over again, I get frustrated. You know, I feel like my time is getting wasted. But I have like a scarcity mindset, you know, where, you know, every little thing is kind of important, and but I could see how you could be a person that would be, you could kind of go the other way with this, where the roguelike nature would make it even more important, like even more scary. You know what I mean? So, you know, who knows? If you're one of those people, you're lucky. That's awesome. I am not. But we'll see. We'll give this another crack. What I'm gonna do though, because part of me was like, well, screw it. We'll just run through, because I'm probably gonna die again, right around that same part that I died the first time. Maybe even earlier. Maybe even earlier from being less careful. And alright, so that's one of the monsters, I guess. And I think the sighing that we hear is us, like a female voice. Because I realized, like, yeah, see, you hear like crying or whatever. That's partly why I assumed we were Justine and she did this to herself. But also, you know, this is I mean, it's really reminiscent of Portal, you know. And or Saw, but definitely Portal. It's definitely inspired by Portal. But I kind of like the idea that Justine is kidnapping random people and putting them in here to test them, you know? So it's not necessarily, I'm sure for the story it'll be important, but I would say from a thematic standpoint, maybe it's not necessarily that important that whether our character is a man or a woman. And actually, it might even be, depending on how you wanted to go, like in Subnautica, it's when I played through, I felt like I was actually in danger because it was that immersive. And if they were going for something like that, then it would make a lot of sense to not, you know, to not really have any story. It's not about the story of the character, it's the story of the player and their experiences. But I don't think that's the case in this. So
Bienvenue. You are now listening to the sound of my disembodied voice. It will serve you no purpose to look for me, for this is a voice from the past. I bid you welcome to my cabinet of perturbation. It is my study of the human psyche, specifically yours. A set of recordings have been prepared to chaperone you through the chambers ahead. There are a few parts to this study, and it is up to you, not only to pass, but to figure out what elements are important. Please go on. Move into the next chamber. Just remember, they can all be saved. There is always a way.
What elements are important? Indeed. They kind of, I mean, they kind of, you know, I get it. It's like not only do you have to figure out the puzzle, you have to figure out what the deal is. There we go, let's just kind of throw it open. So, what I thought was, well, we'll just try running through it. We'll get as far as we can. We can't really run. It's very odd. I really hope there's not another monster. I watched the first few minutes of the last episode I did. And I kind of hid over in that corner. I don't... Like, there's the music, but I don't actually know if there is a monster. Right, and we got this ladder. But rather than just running through and trying to effectively speedrun it, I at least want to give it a go. You know what I mean? Like, try and play with the puzzles a little bit more, figure out what the deal is. You know, I have the broken ladder. I was like, oh, maybe I'm... Okay, now I know there is a... At some point the monster appears, right? Alright, we'll crouch here. There he is. Alright, we'll just hide in the corner here for a minute. Manny's here in my lap, so, you know. And I assume it's a one-shot kill with all of them. They're probably all... There might be multiple variations of the same monster. Who knows? Like with the... Gatherer and Brute? Something like that. But it's also possible that they don't despawn. Like, I think this one comes through and then despawns. The one that killed me, the third one, second one, whatever, he might not. He might wander around. I don't know if it's actually gone yet. Right, so I don't, that's a auditory flashback of probably me.
Whoever you are, if you could help me, I would be much obliged. Help me, please, help me.
Alright, well there is the spike, and presumably this lever lowers it. Right, but I guess that was an auditory flashback of us probably dragging him into the cell. Oh, and all, right, the different cells for each of the... Because there was like a Bible, there was a tennis racket in one. That's like all the different prisoners will be dealing with, right? And then there's where we're going. Right, going here. Forgive me, there's... It's a broken racket, though. Forgive me. Justine, my love, no Talis Mallow or Basile. So there's, like, I assume these are her three suitors, the three people that we're gonna kill. I mean, it's so weird, though. Right, so there's one, and then is there...
Can you hear me?
Not too late to set things right. So is this the third room? Do we have a... Yeah. Like a carpenter or something? Well, okay. Laudanum. We have a barrel. See, and it's an empty bottle. Oh, and a violin. So are there 4 people then? I just don't know what this bottle is. I smashed it earlier, the last time, but... Unless it's poison or something. It will not budge. Alright, well... Okay. That's... What elements are important? Yeah, yeah. So that's the other thing. There was this one note that you basically, the first time I saw like one of those glass cases, I tried to like stand on it and jump on it and throw a rock at it, and none of that worked. Then I get to the library, and I couldn't get that one either, but on my second playthrough, I picked up like, you know, something like this, and I was just like, boop, and it just broke.
Anyone there?
Alright, do I need to stack weight on it or something? Like, what's the deal? It says it will not budge. It will not budge. Well, let me, cannot use item this way. Well, what do I do? Yeah, I don't know. Unless... Well, I mean, clearly it opens this way, but I don't... And it doesn't really seem like there's anything else grabbable in here. Oh, hello. There's something up there, though. No object to use item on. Alright, well...
How did you escape?
I was let go. Yeah, and see, I even make womanly sounds. Still... Do I have to, like, stack all these up or something? Can I still rotate things? Yes, alright.
Have you seen Justine?
Maybe. I'm probably her, if I'm gonna guess. Probably am Justine. That would be my guess. Alright. Do I get up here? Like... Do I have to do this again? Oh, for crying out loud. Alright.
Anyone there?
I'm bored.
Please, please be reasonable. You don't have to do this.
Apparently I do. I mean, is there something up there? I don't even know, but it's like, are you serious? Like, the only thought I have is that there probably is something up there, right? So I need to stack boxes or some other BS to jump up there. And I don't know what, find a crowbar or something? Like, what? You know? Also, like, look at this. I'm climbing straight into a freaking... into the ceiling. Yep, just go... Are we actually getting chased? Certainly sounds like it, doesn't it? But in the end, I don't know. Okay. No cylinder in the phonograph. See, that's another thing. It's like... Like, do I find one somewhere? Is...
Congratulations for coming this far. I'm so excited for you. I do hope you managed to save Monsieur Fournier. He was a friend and a colleague of my papa, you know. Friendly fellow, a real bon garçon.
Wow,
but
that's
free of
rough.
mind. He puts up an impressive front, but it is all an act, I assure you. Please, go on. We are just getting started.
Man, he busted ass. That's pretty rough. Yeah, anyway. Another note. Right, okay. Okay, we... Right. It will not budge. There's a way to save all of them. Right. For this one, probably we'll give it a couple tries. The basement had been extended well beyond the manor during the time of the First Revolution. Justine was not to enter without permission, but now there was no one left to ask.
On this next piece, you should be looking for some divine inspiration. Time to delve into your spiritual side. What do you see? Is the man begging for mercy, or is he being blessed? Perhaps both. Father used to say there were no right answers. Have the light guide you.
Yeah, that's got to be a hint. I mean, obviously it's the... You know? What is that? I don't know. Right, we're going insane slowly, I guess. Alright, slide 2. You alright, Meanie? You think there's a note in one of these? Because there's a note somewhere. There are plenty of books, after all. Question is where... Get away! I mean, I would hope it would be... Oh! Oh, well, hello. Is that it? Herbert's letter. 12 January 1839. Right, Herbert was the dude that went with Daniel into the expedition in Africa, I think. Dear Monsieur Florbel, I'm sorry to hear about your daughter Justine's unruly behavior. Rest assured, this does not diminish your work, nor does it make your idea of the natural developing mind less appropriate as a field of study. I've met plenty of scholars here in London enthralled by your hypotheses and stated that it could be one of the most important ideas of the modern era. It has been suggested the mind is not only molded by experience, but also could be stricken with disease without physiological sign. Perhaps this line of thinking could be applied to your child. I wish I could devote my letter to consolidation. However, I write to you with a request. I require passage into Algeria, and I need Frenchmen of great standing to vouch for my person. I'm certain the name of Florbel would greatly speed the process and grant me the permits I require. It pains me to ask this of you in your time of distress, but if you could suffer my inconvenience, I would be greatly in your debt. Your time of distress. Well, it sounds like he's already, well... There was a hint that maybe he was abusing her. Right? Something like that. I mean, I'd like to think you'd be able to see the notes. Right? There's some note somewhere that talks about aperture science. And you'd think you'd be able to see it. But, well, whatever. Okay, so there's slide 1. Guess we'll grab all of these. Another note. Another tinderbox. Screw you, knowledge! I don't know, I'm trying to look for any sort of flashing. Alright, fair enough. Okay, yeah. Alright, well, there's that. Tinderbox. That's great. See, I'm looking for like some kind of little sparkle or something. All right then. How you doing, Manny? All right, so this is where the dude is. Slide 4. He's boarded up.
Who are you? Who's there?
Well. All right, today I was the one with open arms. Today I was the right one. I never picked the one with the sword. I was the one kneeling. So, I don't know. I mean, it would probably be kneeling. And kneeling in open arms? I don't know, one of those. Two of those. You think it's maybe one of these? I don't see any. I mean... What do you think, Manny? What are your thoughts? Let's light this puppy up. Bam. Number 2. Not the sword. 3. Kneeling. Can I add another one? Can I add 2 at once? Open arms. Okay, open arms is 1 and 4? No. It's gotta be 1 and 3. Okay, so that's 3. 1. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's very weird that the time like kind of dilates as we get closer to the door, but all right. Give this dude.
You'll burn for this.
Maybe I shouldn't save you.
You'll burn for this. Have mercy.
Okay. Well, we have one more try. Not 2.
Thick, twisted child.
Okay. I think 3 is the kneeling one. So let's try 4. So...
King of kings, Lord of lords.
Okay, so that was wrong, I guess.
And he shall reign omnipotent
So that was 4.
forever and ever.
3. So we tried 1 and 3, 3 and 4.
King of kings,
Let's try 4 and 1.
Lord of lords. You'll burn for this.
It's like a rack.
Burn for
Do you have to do it in a specific order? What if I do it again? Okay, so it's not just... Alright, whatever. So it's not... So I thought it was one combination that's correct, and it might be, but it also could be that you have to do multiple ones, you know what I mean? Like, because it talked about you know what I mean? Open arms, right one, kneeling, sword. Maybe you have to do these in an order, but it looks like there's 2 slots. So do you have to do like open arms, right one, and then kneeling and sword? Or even open arms, right one, kneeling, kneeling, sword. Like multiple sets. Or maybe I just screwed up. Maybe you needed the sword and one of the other ones. Because I think the first time I tried it, it was like I just pulled on the thing a couple of times. But it like... I'm just kind of like... Like, I don't feel anything for these people. You know?
I wonder, is Father David with his god now? Maybe you helped him there. Don't you worry. I'm sure he didn't have a family. He probably wasn't even all that well liked. With the current political climate, I'm surprised someone hasn't killed him already. We can't all be saved. Some don't even want to be saved. Yes, that is a comforting thought. Saves us from trying.
It was interesting. I was reading... What was I reading? There was a message thread. People were talking about Silent Hill 2. And it was really kind of interesting because, I mean, it was also, you know, of course, people were like calling each other names and stuff, but one person was like, the whole point of Angela is that, and of Silent Hill 2 in general, is that it's not up to others. Like, you can't save other people, and other people can't save you. You have to save yourself, right? That's kind of, it's a really interesting point. You know, salvation comes from within, or whatever. You know, it's kind of one of the reasons I do this channel, is like to improve myself, because, you know, I see a lot of these, you know, activists and stuff, and the victim narrative and all that stuff, and it's like, you'll never be happy. If you want other people to fix you, first off, they won't be able to, but secondly, you'll never be happy. And for me, I'm like, you know, like, I know there's like, there's a couple holes in, you know, in my psyche or spirit or whatever. There's some, you know, some damage that was done. Like some parts are broken, some are bent, and it's like I just gotta work on that stuff. You know, I'm definitely not perfect. I try, but yeah. So interestingly enough, so I just thought that was really neat. But also with the priest, you know, he was cursing us, which I thought was interesting. I mean, that's how it was back in the day. It was all. It was, you know, religion was just a way for the power to keep their power. Not like the more, I guess, Buddhist philosophy of, you know, suffering exists and you should do your best to overcome it. Or whatever. If someone wants to hit you, just let them. You don't, you know? Because it's about, like, tolerating all that stuff. It's like, you know? It's just a different thing from then, where it's like fire and brimstone, to now where it's like, oh, you know, Jesus loves you and all that stuff. Even though the undercurrent is still basically the same. I just thought it was neat. Like, you know, he should really be like praying or something, or you know, like, I'll pray for you, you know, but instead he was cursing us. And for all I know, I mean, I suspect I'm the one that set all this up, but if I was trying my best to save him, it's like, it's not good. It's like, I'm trying, dude. Anyway, yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting, just from this and that. Just the whole, like, you know, he should really be the noble one that he claims to be, which, let's face it, many priests are not. Or at least the lower level ones, I think, are. But once you get up to the top, that's where the snakes are and the politicians and stuff. You know, anyone that wants power is going to seek the higher levels of organizations. But yeah, so that was an interesting thing that came from this, but also the whole Silent Hill 2 thing, where other people can't save you and you can't save others. They have to save themselves. You know? It's like relationships. If you're a broken person, being in a relationship's not going to fix you. You have to fix yourself. You're not two half people becoming one. You're two people acting as one, right? If you're broken, all you're going to attract is other broken people. And you won't be able to keep the functional person that you've got. So that's why whack myself in the face. That's why you gotta work on it. Was there oh, there is. Right somewhere in here there's a enemy. Right, there's an enemy coming from there. Well, hopefully it's dark and it won't see me. I think we hid over here before. Alright, we'll look away. We just want to make sure it goes by, because it patrols or something. Like, it doesn't leave fully, so we're just... Oh, and then we have to run or something, right? Where are we going? Oh, there's some ladders or something up there. Are we going the right way? Is this a door? Jammed. I don't like that. Assassinating the suitors had not been part of the original plan, but she liked the added excitement. Right, as soon as you hear that thing, it means one of the monsters spotted you. And it's just because I got close to the door, which is... Because, so... In one of the things, that's what happens. So on that map, it might not be that same monster. That monster that we saw might appear and wander back and forth. And then as soon as you get around the corner to come to that door, one might spawn right behind you. Which is why all of a sudden you're being chased.
I'm sure you have figured out how it all works by now.
Not really.
Are you enjoying my quips? I think they are quite clever. Not that I was ever much of a conversationalist. Poetry has always been my forte. But I digress. You should press on. It will all be over soon. Also, the police are here. Maybe they can help you.
Alright, where... Okay, that's locked. We won't take the lever yet. Anything in here? Lever to operate the door is missing. So here's... Alright, so I guess we just run as fast as we can. Oh, it's the other way. Grab the gear. We can still move pretty fast, which is nice. Alright, is there... Oh, come on, we have to do this again? Nope. Sorry, dude, I'm out. Oh, is it chasing me again? So, yeah, it just... Is this it? No. Justine had overdosed on lithium before and had a pretty good idea of what effects to expect. And that shows the central tunnel. So, yeah, I didn't even realize there was a dude in there, but... Yeah, as soon as I was like, oh, you get into the second thing, and he's like, you there, help me, and then... It's like, oh, we just have to run and... just open a door, but I didn't even look at the puzzle. I don't know if it was timed or how timed it was. You know what I mean? Do they wait for you to go through first? Like, do you have a few minutes, or was it the fact that I started opening it and he was like, no, and then the creature busted the door down? I don't know. Is this the end? Who knows?
Inspector Moreau, are you still with us? I'm looking forward to see if you managed to save him or not. I know very little about him, but surely he had a family, don't you think? Poor, poor, fatherless children. But he falls on his own sword. His kind is not meant to come for people like me. Laws are made for cretins. The aristocracy doesn't need to know right from wrong. We are always right.
Well, unfortunately, that's kind of true. Not that they're always right, but that the law only goes after the poor. Or the non-elites. Alright. Was there a body in there and it disappeared? Is that what happened? Well, there's a lot of bodies. This is where they're all buried? Huh. Well, which way do I go here? What does that say? It all made sense, he thought. We all appreciate symmetry. Everyone is comforted by the causality of logic. It gives the impression of a grand plan, and that we may be able to grasp the inner workings of this perfect universe. You see, his wife had died while giving birth to his son. That is why he was able to forgive. His family was just giving into the symmetry. Little weird. So she... Unfinished letter. Yeah. Herbert, I've contracted the consulate and they said they will send you the permits you need for visiting Algeria. I wish you good luck on your search and that your findings will come at a lower price than mine. I'm at a loss with my studies. My daughter has become distraught and distant. I did little to control her behavior, yet I believe the very notion of my observation has made her this way. My scientific indifference to her tests has not left her with an indifferent opinion. She finds my lack of reaction disappointing. She judges me, and most importantly herself, by the results of the tests. The reason I've had trouble finding any consistency within her character is because she tries different approaches to provoke me, and her actions only become more and more disturbing. Yesterday I lost myself and scolded her. She was terrified and humiliated. It saddens me greatly to bring my studies to a close without seeing it to the end, but I can no longer justify my research. I have to mend my relationship with my daughter. Yeah, there's, parenting today is different than parenting from back then. Back then, it was the whole thing of, like, children were expected to be seen and not heard. You know, things were very strict. The man was more... I don't honestly know, but it was like they were more of a... the disciplinarian, and the mother was more, well, especially with the aristocracy, the mother was more, not even with the elites, the kids were usually raised by, like, the staff, the maids and stuff. Like, the mother was more of a politician, whereas the father was more of a stranger. It's very kind of odd. And I don't know. Whereas when we talk about, like, family and kind of the way things should be, the best way to raise kids, it almost seems like how the poor people grew up, if that makes any sense. It's like that was more of a that's more of how it's supposed to be. It's like the parents, the men worked the fields and the women tended the house and stuff. And if you were a girl, you helped the women. And if you were a boy, you kind of helped the men. And then at a certain point you became an adult. And that was sort of your... It's like, all right, you're not a kid anymore. You're a man. Time to actually help with the fields and all that stuff. So it was not only a little more plain with what was expected of you. It's like these are the standards to live by, and so it makes the world makes more sense. But also it was more. Like a rite of passage is almost a good thing, because it lets you, it's like you know where you stand, so you can judge yourself and then figure out where you're lacking and where you need to go. You can improve yourself. So it's a little bit interesting that these days, as in the first world, we are more like the aristocracy of the past, where it's like, we're sort of hands off with the kids and stuff. And it's like the kids are today growing up to be all messed up, and it's like we wonder why. And Of course, we're letting, you know, some of the activist people like just tear everything down, and it's like, no, no, no. Because ironically, they're middle or upper middle class. Like, it's all the activists are like, you know, they go to Yale and stuff like that. They're like, we're oppressed. It's like, dude, you go to a school that costs, you know, $60,000 a semester maybe, or a year or something like that. Like, don't tell me you're oppressed, you know. But they believe they're oppressed, and it's like, so they come from like this, but they look at what would actually kind of save children as like the familial relationships. They look at that and they're like, that's the patriarchy and we need to pull that down and all that stuff. And it's like, no, maybe we need to go back to that. Maybe we need actual, you know, not, I mean, you know, you don't necessarily need to have gender roles. Maybe you do, I don't know, but I would say at least have familial bonding, you know, have the parents, have the kids help the parents, maybe a little bit more agency. Like, we don't work for ourselves anymore, we work for employers, you know, so we're already sort of conditioned to be slaves in a way, and then we've lost that rite of passage, you know, so in general we're just all kind of lost, and that's it's not great. It's not great. But let's see what else. Can I go into the hole? Oh, I can, but... Oh, come on. Am I stuck in here? Oh, she's breathing heavy now. Okay, so now... Like, there are bodies, but they're disappearing. The question is why. Was none of this real? Does this statue change depending on, well, no. Probably not. What was Mother like? She was the most beautiful creature ever to grace this world. I can't remember what she looked like, no matter how hard I try. Her beauty was blinding, Justine. We could never dare to chain such memory to our minds. It would be too much to bear. There's Manny. He's gotta go somewhere. You know, that's the other thing, upon playthrough of, you know, on my second playthrough of Amnesia: The Dark Descent, is, like, I'm not certain Alexander is necessarily a bad guy. I mean, I know he kidnapped and tortured people and stuff, and that's bad, but he's, you know, he's not from this dimension, so to us, we might be like ants or something. You know, he's an interdimensional being or something. Who knows? You know, so, I mean, to us, of course, he's a villain. Yeah, we don't want to be killed and all that stuff. But, like, he was friends with Daniel, and he wanted to bring Daniel through the gate, presumably until Daniel went insane. And then he's like, the shadow has him. I can't bring him anymore. You know, there's like some of the loading images. He's like, it pains me to do this, and what irony, you know. But, you know, Alexander actually liked Daniel, you know. And then there's like stuff in those little memory cylinders about Alexander's wife, how he's trying to return home. So, I don't know, it's interesting. It's interesting. I've a like, even though I enjoyed parts of Amnesia: Dark Descent. I didn't enjoy all of it. I had problems with a lot of it, but oh, and you can see the little pictures, kind of. Well, no, they're all the same. Kind of, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, it was just kind of neat. Like, I have a lot of respect for it, even though I didn't really enjoy it. I enjoyed parts of it. I didn't really enjoy it. Jesus Christ. My tenses are slipping. But yeah, I have tons of respect for it. Even this Even this, even Justine, it's like you tried something different. For me, it's not super great, but, you know, let's see. So what does this say?
Well done. You have triumphed, conquered my cabinet. I wish I could tell you how you did, but alas, this is a recording. You will have to figure it out all by yourself. Did anyone survive? The doctor? The priest? Or perhaps the policeman? Who was allowed to live? Why? You should really reflect on these past events and consider what they meant to you, what you have learned about your true nature. Father never knew me. He thought he did, but then he was frightened, and nothing was ever the same again. I can still see him, lying there on the floor. He looked so surprised. The star-shaped soapstone stained by his blood fell to the floor with a sonorous thud. Blame me not, for I was but a child. With careful ambition, I dare to smile. Rest in peace, Papa.
Fair enough. I mean, you know, she killed him, but maybe he did something to her. I mean, it sounds like he was kind of experimenting on her, or at least he was probably a psychologist, and man, psychologists are weird. They're pretty much all of them are crazy. There's a reason they get into it, because they want to learn what's wrong with them. Why is this all red? What does this say? We must hurry, yet it's not too late. It will be the end of everything. What is this? What did that perfect sphere bring? What will that perfect sphere bring? The tattered yellow king shall dethrone? Stay alive. Okay. Suffer the trial. Did we not already? Through the gates. From beyond it comes. They who borrow waits beneath. Burrow? Which way do I go? The pipers will call for us to dance. Death shall move across the floor. Alright. Do I live? Let's see. Liar. Alias does too use dust as a sore. Muse? It will be again. It's coming. Okay, I guess this links up. What does this say? Can I run a little bit? I want to read all the messages. Alright, what does this say? Climb the highest tower. Spin the wheels, crank the engine. The skinless one is waking. Yeah, that's the beautiful pain. Oh, Father. Gluttony. It pleases me. Lonely. Yep. Oh, come on. You couldn't just... What will that perfect sphere bring? Alright, There, it's fading. The tattered yellow king shell something. Alright, let's go. Like, I was trying to read all of them, but they're starting to repeat.
And so it comes to an end. Now that you have seen what you truly are, you are able to go on and face eternity. Without fear. Without doubt.
Are we gonna get killed? Oh, are the walls moving? Oh, let me guess. Okay, well. Or not. Alright. Oh, come on, dude. Don't even tell me we have to... Wait, why? Oh. Why would I shut the door? Oh, did I miss my chance? I swear to God, if I die... Well... Yeah, I know. Do you have to break this to end? Or do you just straight up die and then it's like, oh, death? Human locked egotist.
This was the best one yet. So elaborate. It's just too much. Enough of this. Get up, Justine.
This isn't over yet. I want you.
The whole point was you have to close the thing. So she's talking to herself? And what's with this weird body?
Such light was never meant for me. Such intricate machinery. I can't for the life of me understand why he built this.
This is her dad?
I really should keep this door locked.
It is now. This is the door out.
Mademoiselle Justine, are you down there? Is everything all right?
Of course, Clarice, I'm quite all right. Is everything ready for tonight?
Yes, the goose is ready any minute now. The guests should be arriving within the hour. Did I hear voices from downstairs?
I certainly hope not.
Oh, I'm not walking on my own.
Silly me.
Or...
Yes, silly Clarice.
Clarice was the one in the note. Okay, so it was Justine, but... it's like, oh, was the death thing fake? Did she drink the amnesia potion and then because she died, she remembered who she was? I don't know. I mean, I kind of expected... they don't really explain anything, and who were those people? I mean, she must remember everything. She was like, oh, this was the best one yet. It's like, what does that mean? Like, she remembers, presumably she's done this multiple times. And I assume the achievement we got was for not saving anybody. Right, all these people, all these voices. Why was there... Yeah, GLaDOS. Why was there... You have what? Eight people? Okay, so Justine and Clarice, I get. But were there... There's 3 prisoners. Who were the other 3? And none of the 3 prisoners were her 3 suitors. I don't know. Well, that is it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much. I'm not going to click the end because it'll exit out. Presumably. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. Really do appreciate it. Really hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. Questions, comments, concerns, good, bad, or indifferent, let me hear them. I read all of them. I do respond to all of them. Usually it takes me a few days, but I do. What is your guys' unique positive moment for today? For me, I had one. I know I had one right before I started. I guess Manny's right here. I mean, I guess just finishing this game, the Justine thing, just finding it. It's not, like I said, it's not great. It's fine. It's something. It's a little bit extra. You know what I mean? It's just a little extra of Amnesia. At least I didn't pay for it. I think it was DLC originally, but now it just seems to come with it. So that's kind of cool. Even though I didn't necessarily like it, I appreciate the experience. You know, it's not always. Excuse me. It's not always about having fun. Fun is good, but I mean, you can find fun in challenging yourself as well. It's not always about, you know, I find fun in all the different in all this stuff because it's all the different experiences, right? And this was definitely an experience, a little bit more towards the negative. But you know, whatever. I wonder if that door, the bang on the door, was like not the monsters, but the people that you saved. I mean, I didn't save any of them, but maybe it doesn't change. Maybe it's like you still leave them there to die, even if you save them. You know, and that's them banging on the door. Maybe. Anyway, yeah, that's my unique positive moment. Finishing Justine, and then I'll probably play it a couple more times, just get the other achievements, kind of figure out what's going on, honestly. And yeah, but that's it. That's my unique positive moment. Hopefully your guys is just as good, if not better. Hopefully better, of course. And I hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.